While coronavirus cases continue to soar across the country, here in the DMV we have some good news. Our numbers continue to plateau and even decline, and continued social distancing may have something to do with it. On the road to recovery, the DMV has been making strides to gradually return to a new normal. But this week, some states have had to walk back their reopening measures because of a spike in COVID cases. Texas, who reopened 3 weeks ahead of us, is now switching to reverse after a surge in cases and halting its reopening. Florida is breaking daily records with nearly 10,000 new coronavirus cases per day. And while cases go up across the country, the DMV has been able to avoid that trend. D.C. has seen a decline in cases for nearly 2 months. Maryland has seen that same trend since early June. And Virginia is continuing to plateau for the second week in a row. Why? A look at the University of Maryland's COVID-19 impact analysis platform gives us some insight. It uses cell phone tracking data to see who's staying home and who isn't. According to their database, today D.C. has the highest percentage of people in the country that are staying home, with nearly half of the city's population choosing to social distance. Maryland is ranked 4th when it comes to staying home after New York and New Jersey, who were hit hard early on with coronavirus cases. When it comes to Virginia, they're ranked 12th, with 26% of people reportedly staying home. They are still on track to enter Phase 3 later this week, as other states who opened early put the closed signs back up. In D.C., Colby Satterfield, WUSA 9.
Now, the CDC continues to urge everyone to wear a mask or some sort of face covering in public. And remember to keep your distance when you're out. Stay at least 6 feet away from other people you don't know. And of course, continue to wash your hands.